Hi, I'm Kelly. I'm learning to trade, and welcome to another day of practice trading with me. Okay, so I am going to generate a random number 1, and that is the day that we are going to go backwards to. I can't go backwards to 1 on that month, so we'll go to this month. And I like to trade at 6 o'clock. Reset. Okay, so let's see what we're dealing with. Okay, so we definitely were in an upward trend, and then we kind of leveled off. This was a downward trend, small up. And okay, so let's start connecting some dots here. So this, I don't know, this trend looks a little harder to define because this was sort of a trend, but then we had this steep trend right here maybe, and I don't know, I hate drawing like a million lines because I feel like this just makes it more complicated. So it was a steep downward, but then I think we changed like somewhere in here, possibly with this bar right here or with these two bars, we changed from being a downward trend to a little bit of sideways and possibly upward. So then right here, this looks like this was a little uptrend, but we've exited that, and now this looks more sideways. And I mean, it's not quite a trading range yet because I'm not really seeing. I mean, maybe you could put the line here, maybe somewhere like that. But I wouldn't call it like a clearly defined trading range yet, but it might be something that's developing. This looks like a really solid reversal bar. So maybe we're going up. Like maybe this was the one leg up and then we had a small pullback, and maybe we're going to have another leg up. Possibly. So then maybe, like in that case, this wouldn't be a trading range at all. This would have just been a small pullback that has a funny blip right there. So let's say if this was the case, that we had a little pullback and now we're going up, then I would expect this to be, although actually, you know what I'm going to do? What I will do is copy this one, because we would expect it to be the same or somewhat of the same measure. Because often, like one leg will, when you have one leg up, the next leg up will be the same length up. Not always. So, keeping all that in mind, I wouldn't be ready to enter yet because like we haven't gone past this high. Like we seem to have hit some kind of resistance. Both we hit something here and then again right here. So I'm not really confident that we're going all the way up, but it's definitely a possibility. So let's see. Okay, so now we broke through this thing that I was thinking was maybe resistance right here. We broke through it. And not only did we like wick through it, but the full bar went through it. So that's, and we can probably just delete that. That doesn't seem like it was a trading range. So now I would expect it to keep going up here. I could, and you see we even seem to be like above this most recent high, so we are forming a new high. So I do feel pretty confident that this is going to be an uptrend that'll go at least up to right here. Now the question is, do I want to enter it? Because what is my risk going to be? So if I were to enter it right here, I would need my risk to be right about there, like a one little tick below that, or one or two ticks below that. And that's a pretty big stop loss, 21. I I don't love that. And if let's say that I went ahead and said, I think we're going to go up to this spot. That is a 1.74 risk reward. So, I mean, it's okay. It's above a 1.5. It is okay. But my gut is telling me that I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know. Like, and it's not really a channel yet. What if we did... I'm just trying to look for further confirmation one way or the other. I don't know what's going on there. I'm looking for further confirmation one way or the other of what is happening. So what if we looked at these trend, like we pull it all the way from there to there? Yeah, so then it still looks like we're going up. And then if I look at it from a larger scale, yeah, I don't know. This is looking like... I feel like we're going to be going that direction. Do I think with this... Okay, so the next question is, like, do I think that this downward trend that we had going here, do I think that's going to come back? Is this just a pullback for the downward trend? It's not looking like it to me. But let's look at it bar by bar. Let's look at the past like 10 or so bars to like really get a feel for it. Okay, so we came down with a pretty good, like this was a pretty solid down bar. And then we came up, but we could not recuperate everything. We just came up a little bit and then we came back down again. Okay, so this one is an inside bar. So here, I'll like kind of highlight that. How do I highlight that? This thing right here, I believe, is an inside bar, because this green bar was inside this red bar, and then this red bar is inside this green bar. And those, for one thing, those can signal that this is a good price, that everybody was in agreement that this was a fair price. So sometimes we come back to that price. And the other thing is that they can be a reversal signal. So, okay, I don't know. That's just something. And then we came up with a good amount of, like, a good trend bar up, but then we came back down, like, even more forcibly down. And then we tried to keep going down much further. We tried to hit, like, almost half of this leg. We tried to hit almost half of that leg. And we could not, so we closed up here. And then, again, we tried to go down, could not, so we closed higher. And then we went back up again, and this is like a nice trend bar. We came down a little bit, so this would be an inside bar, like these two right here. The red bar is inside the green bar. Of course, some people have different definitions of it. You see how, like, this wick is actually above the green bar, so some people wouldn't consider that inside. Okay, so that's another inside bar. And then we have this green that came up, but it's like not really coming up a lot. And then this one did come up a lot, and it had a downward wick. So after all of that, after looking at all of those bars, I'm not feeling a huge amount of selling pressure. I'm feeling a lot of sort of like evenness, like the buying pressure and the selling pressure is a little more even. So that makes me suspicious that we might be coming up, but this might turn into more of a trading range versus being a second leg up. So I'm not going to enter here. I don't think. I could be wrong, but I'm not seeing enough confirmation, I guess. So let's see what happens. Okay, we went up again, but we hit some resistance. It's not a huge... Okay, up again. And you see, I might just be like, I should have entered. That's what it's looking like. I should have entered, but that's okay. And that one is coming down, but we're still there on the trend line. So, okay, still there on the trend line. Okay. Now we're kind of stalling out. Now we're not necessarily making a higher high. Okay, and now we're coming down. So we did go up. We did almost follow that trend line, but look, we didn't go all the way up. So looking back, like doing a little brief analysis of that entry that I should have left it up there just so that we could see. But I think it probably was a pretty good move to not enter, because if you remember, my stop loss was pretty large and we didn't, and like if I were to go all the way up to this point, it was only like a 1.7 risk to reward. So we didn't go all the way up to that. We went up to here. I mean, granted, I could have still like made some money if I would have closed out up here, but it wasn't a great setup. I will say that. There definitely are better setups. So now let's see, what do we have here? So we had a leg up, we had a little pullback, another leg up, and that's a pretty strong downward motion. Let's see. I mean, we could just be having another pullback for another leg up, or we could be changing, or maybe we're going into the trading range like I had initially thought. Okay. That one came down, but then it couldn't close that far down. So it closed right here. So we probably went, let's measure this. I'm sorry, I'm being slow today. I'm just kind of trying to be methodical. Okay, so if I go from the very bottom of that trend to the very top of where we reached on that trend, look, we came right up into that, like, this is the 50% mark, and then this is a fib number. It's like 0.618. So we came like right down to there. So it could be that like this is a pullback, because you would expect a pullback to fall into this kind of area. So this could be a pullback, and then we could be ready for our next leg up. Let's see. Nope. another big one down. Okay, so that tells me I don't think we're going to have a leg up anymore. So it could be we're going up, we're going down, we're going up, or maybe we're just going further down. Okay. That one kind of looks like a double bottom, or close to a double bottom. So that would be a good reversal. Okay, so now I want to try to look at this trend on a larger scale, because I think maybe I've been like looking too closely. So we could have, I don't know, that could have been something, but then we went down. We could say that is something, and that would be reversal. Here, let's zoom out. Sometimes zooming out helps. Okay, let's see if we have, yeah, we kind of have a, okay. All right. I don't know why I didn't see that earlier. I don't know why I didn't mark that earlier, but this makes me feel much better. Okay. I do feel like this is now a trading channel, and I'm not sure. Oops. I didn't mean to move that one. I meant to move this one. I'm not sure if that's about right. Okay. So we're in a trading range, trading channel now, and we are here at the bottom of the line, at the bottom of the channel. We have a double bottom, like where they're, I mean, they're not exactly a double bottom, but they're within a couple of ticks of each other. So I really like this setup. Now, I don't know that I like the risk to reward ratio, because this is such a big bar and we don't have that much far to go up. So I don't know how I feel about that. We're going to see. But I do really, yeah. I mean, that's pretty, I feel pretty good about that, because I think it is a channel. It looks like a channel. I think channels are just where I feel the most safe or the most comfortable. Okay, so I'm going to, oh, I forgot to clear this out from last time. Okay, sorry. We're going to have to pretend like 425 is 0. Okay, so I'm going to buy right here. And let's see what happens. I just thought about it. I should have closed out on that 600 because that 600 was like, I was very happy at the 600. I don't know why I didn't close out there. I mean, I'm still happy at that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to close out on the 465 because I am very happy there too. That's more than what I normally shoot for in my morning. And also look at this. Okay. It is 725. We're getting kind of close to that area where things start to get more volatile and I don't really like to be in the market. So I'm flattening here. It's 465. But I do believe that we're going to continue up this channel at some, like we're probably going to have like somewhat of a pullback and then continue up the channel. Because if you look at these, like look backward, the last time, well, I mean, this was kind of a weird time where we just went straight up, but most of the time we kind of go up and down and up and down. It's not very usual that you just like go from the bottom of the channel straight up to the channel. So I'm happy with my was it 65? I think so. But here, let's just see what happens with the rest of this channel up. And look, see how I talked about volatility? That's a lot of volatility right there. It wouldn't have like crossed my stop loss and it would have actually made me close out, but it's a lot of volatility. Now I think we might go down. Yep. Okay. So that's it for today's trading. Thanks so much for joining me and I hope to see you next time.